I remember that night as clear as day. It was a summer I worked PFRA with the wildest cowboy I have ever known. We'd worked all day, then drove somewhere to a horse sale where he'd bought a mare, and it was late by Saskatoon with miles to go. We were always hungry, it seemed back then. It was Saskatoon and after 10, and the only place serving was the all-night cafe. We parked the rig with the horse in the parking lot, and I said, let's go in, get something hot and a coffee, and then be on our way. That's what I thought. But what I got was something wrong that went right in its own way. We had boots and hats and hard-working jeans, past suits and ties, whose night, it seems, had been spent supporting their local brewer. Now, pretty girls and alcohol don't bring out the best in us all, but they called us an impolite name for horse manure. Now, my friend had wild in his chest, at his worst, at his best, and most of the time, the difference was clear. Those guys were looking down their nose at our hard-working clothes, eating hamburger, having never seen a steer. There's no real cowboys left around here, said one guy, and then to make it clear, he repeated it louder than he should. That's when my friend put back his hat, stood up, and went to where they sat, and I thought to myself, this is gonna be good. He said, some folks keep using their mouths after their brains have all gone south, and you, sir, seem to fit that bill. Now, I know I'm tired, it's getting late, but I feel the need to educate you, yes? I think I will. But he didn't punch the guy, he just walked out, and I thought, hey, what's that about? Leaving those suits and ties well enough alone? I don't know, can't be sure, could it be that he has grown mature? I should have known. 5 minutes later, him and that horse came bursting through the door, right into the restaurant, hoofs skidding on the tile floor, eager to ride any four-legged thing, with a saddle or without. And as the restaurant started screaming, I could hear him shout, cowboys still live in Saskatchewan. Cowboys still live in Saskatchewan. As long as sky is blue, may that always be true. Cowboys still live in Saskatchewan. Well, folks were screaming, food was flying, and those guys were up and trying to get away up against the wall. Things were breaking everywhere, and him and that mare were whooping in the middle of it all. That skittish mare went down the aisle, him waving his hat with a smile, and I whispered something in her ear as he made her turn. Well, I don't know what he said, but that mare perked up her hair and reared up on her hind legs by the coffee herd, while he sang, cowboys still live in Saskatchewan. Cowboys still live in Saskatchewan. As long as sky is blue, may that always be true. Cowboys still live in Saskatchewan. Well, by now the manager had figured out what that cowboy was all about, and he grabbed his phone and was dialing 911. I left some money for the food, and I said, I don't want to be rude, but I think it's time we ended all this fun. Now, I have said again and again, a horse is smarter than most men, and that night, that mare proved that's the truth. She had wisdom in her eyes and left her opinion of those guys in a steaming pile right beside their booth. Well, I whistled as I opened up the door, couldn't help himself, he just had to shout once more, cowboys still live in Saskatchewan. Cowboys still live in Saskatchewan. And your girlfriends love me too, may that always be true. Cowboys still live in Saskatchewan. Well, we loaded that horse so fast God only knows. We were peeling out of the parking lot with the sirens getting close. Lights off and alleys later, we knew we'd got away. That's when we started laughing, and I laugh till this very day when I think cowboys still live in Saskatchewan. Cowboys still live in Saskatchewan. As long as skies blue, may that always be true. Cowboys still live in Saskatchewan. Oh, as long as skies blue, may that always be true. That cowboys still live in Saskatchewan.